Hello everyone, welcome to this video. Today we will be covering practically all of the Byford area bus changes as part of the Byford Rail Extension. Everything that's changing in the Armadale and Byford areas with the streets and such in one video, because it's not really too much, unlike last time with the TCL and the Ellenbrook line, of course. But before we start, I just wanted to say, if you want a overall explainer video like I have done before for the more major changes, go and check out Justin's video that he did yesterday for the Byford bus changes on the Transport app. Just recording the app and you can see all the maps from there. He has explained everything, and then in this video we'll be also looking at everything but with the real life stops and such. So we'll get into it. Closer to the date, I might do another little one with anything else minor, including actually one of the school specials in the area, which is actually going to have quite a lot of sections on streets removed, no longer served, if I can manage to get on that. But for now, this is basically the main video covering all the main routes. Now, of course, this was actually filmed in July, so we're going to be at the old Armadale temporary bus interchange here at the start of the video, but of course the new one has already been opened on the 24th of August, and you can check out that video in the corner to see all of the new operations while the old routes are still there. So enjoy. Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. We are at Armadale Station and it is actually July. I don't know when I'm posting this, probably like October or something. So the progress will be a bit outdated, but you can basically see the main station structure now. And of course we are here because the Byford Rail Extension will be opening very soon, which means yet another round of bus changes. Not as complicated or extensive as previous rounds though, so I think I'll be able to fit it all into this one video. But here's what Armadale Station looks like at the moment with the temporary bus interchange, which won't be seen anymore. There's also a view from the other side that I captured from the bus, which I'll show you. Now here they actually have this booking center and Trans-WA system map as well, which is so funny. But yes, if we walk all the way through, stand 1 over here is for all the Byford routes and some school specials, which will all be changing, and I'll explain in further detail as we continue to look at the changes. But let's just go for a walk through this bus station, which definitely won't be seen anymore either, because they are building the new bus interchange at the back there. So over here we have the 907, now obviously to Cannington Station. Used to be all the way to the city, which very important route right now, replacing the train. At stand 3 there's the 219 and 220 and 221, which the 221 is just on Albany Highway, limited stops version of the 220, only to Cannington though, while the 220 goes all the way into the city, and the 219 only goes to Kelmscott, also through Armadale Hospital, which is this bus right here, I don't know why they still have this stuff. Causeway bus station here. Then there's 220 as well. Stand for is set down in Trans WA only. And then around the back, over here we have this screen, which I'm really surprised is not completely smashed up, but there's that. This road is actually closed. They still have the train station sign there, the original one, but everything else is gone. I can't believe what used to be here. They're kind of resurfacing that road. Here's the bus map. Honestly, the buses here are like not even that extensive. You just got the routes up towards the city, of course, and Cannington. The routes to Coburn and Murdoch, 529 and 519, which actually 529 was introduced with the Armadale Line shutdown, but they should be keeping it, so that's good, keeping that connection. And then you got the 4 routes which go down to Byford and beyond, to Mundijong and Jarradale. And then you've just got the few local routes that there is, which is just 2, 4, 3, 4 and 5, which are quite a complicated mess of routes through here, switching places like 3 different times, as well as the 250 circular here and the 249 a few times a day to Hilbert service. So the main changes that are happening really is only a few little street changes with the local routes in Armadale. So right now we have this 250, which is a very interestingly shaped route. Yeah, it's pretty weird. But they're actually changing it to just continue along this road, go here, and then go along 9th Road instead. So that means this section on Chadwick Parade and also Farmer Avenue will be removed. 529, they all have to go around the back now because it's closed here. And also, of course, 907. I mean, you'll still see 907 here when there's closures, but obviously not at this temporary station. Okay, so that's the change with the 250 that we have to film, those 2 streets being removed. There is also a change with the 244. Instead of continuing here and then up with the 245 for this small section and on Dawson Street, it's just going to continue on Forrest Road and then go straight up from there. So this section will be removed from the 244 on 7th Road, and then fully this section as well removed to Dawson Street. Everything else, nothing else is really planned to change. 249 is still going to stay as a limited route, but there will be a few new routes, including a 246, which will go out here and Tonkin Highway, and then like through the Hilbert area and down to Byford from there. While the routes on Southwestern Highway will still exist, but obviously instead of the 254 doing this weird loop here, there's just going to be circular services from Byford Station in both directions, 254 and 255 doing this loop, while the 251 will be the only route along Southwestern Highway, Armadale Station, Byford Station, and then the routes to Mundijong and Jarradale will be renumbered 262 and 263 from Byford Station, as well as the introduction of a very short little new route, number 256. They always make a short, crazy route, which will just be from Byford Station right there, over here and down here to this southern portion, this corner of Byford, which is currently not well served. U-turn and go straight back as well, which is like the 577 in Lakelands, how it just does that. Here are all the routes, 250 there, 221. Otherwise, yeah, not much change. So it's not actually that significant. I'm going to feature it all in this video. I guess we can start with the 250, which just pulled in there. I'll show you the little onboard section being removed and filming from the streets of the buses going through. But let's just quickly look at the rest of the stands. Over here is stand 5 for the 519 to the Murdoch TAFE, and the 529 to Coburn Central Station. And then we have the 243 and the 244 local routes on stand 6, and the 245, 249 and 250 local routes on stand 7. So let's get on the 250 now and see that little removed section. 219 to Kelmscott departing as well. I mean, that's really a local route as well, but it just follows the 220 anyway. Alright, so this is Brookdale and Chadwick Parade, the one directional loop of the 250 coming through here. There are 5 stops all consecutively along this road being removed. It actually also drives right past there on the other side of this pedestrian cut through, because it loops around like that, or is a little bit further. But anyway, it comes down here. There's 5 stops. Most of them are just poles, but this one here is actually a full-on stop with a shelter and proper pole with the number on it as well. Placed here in December 2023. So they're just making the route go 1 street further, meaning it's not going to serve this anymore. And then at the end it turns right, and there's one more stop there not being served. So it's this one here, as you can see, and several other poles which you'll see in the clips of the buses coming past. Okay, so this is the last of the 6 stops along this section being removed. 13227. This one's a timed stop, yet it's just a basic pole in someone's front yard, while some of the other ones with full-on shelters and proper poles aren't even a timed stop. This is Farmer Road, just before Wallaby Place here, and then the bus turns left onto 9th Road there, which is where the route will be coming from there in the future, just along 9th Road. So we'll just film it come through here. See how old these signs are? This route hasn't changed for like decades, and now they're just making this minor adjustment here. Okay, here it comes turning out onto Farmer Avenue now. We got an Optimus this time. Road that will no longer be served either. And out onto 9th Road, which will be served. Making that left there. Okay, we're on the corner of Dawson Street and 7th Road. Here in 7th Road, the 245 also operates. So it's not really significant that that's being removed, but the whole of Dawson Street will no longer be served, which is 244 exclusive with 3 stops. So there should be one coming in both directions right now. Nice hills in the background again. We'll watch it. Okay, here it comes. It's actually an Arctic. What the hell? I mean, it is 3:30, but it's not a school day. Again with the hill backdrop, it looks so nice. Arctic on the 244. About to turn left onto Dawson Street, which won't be seen anymore as it'll just go straight over there. (31:28) on the 244. Oh, and there's 245 right now as well. That's cool. 2574 over there. But this is the main section being removed over here. Yep, so we have these 2 stops, which are actually timed stops here in Dawson Street, even though it's not even that far from Armadale Station. Just pole though in the grass being removed, as well as the sheltered pole one on the other side over here, as well as this accessible sheltered stop in front of Dawson Reserve here in the middle of the road being removed. and that one there. And then 2 more at the end where I just got off a bus, so you can see that clip too. While I was actually going to the 250, I used the 244 to this removed section to get to the 250 removed section. This is such a weird path. What the hell is this? Alright, now let's head down to Byford and see the changes there. So, there are 4 routes which can take you to Byford, but everything is so scarce. The 251 is literally like 2 or 3 times a day, just straight down Southwestern Highway and through the main Byford area, and then to a terminus a bit beyond. So there's only a service at 10:47 a.m, the first outbound one, which we'll be taking right now, and 1:54 p.m. That's it for the 251 outbound. There's 3 inbound services, all before noon as well. So that's that. 252 and 253 are exactly the same, all the way down, same as 251. I mean, actually, all those 3 are the same. It's just an extension and then a further extension. So 252 is a further extension of the 251 going to Mundijong, and then the 253 is a further extension of the 252 going all the way to Jarradale, which I have featured before. That's also extremely scarce. There's only a service here and here and here, only afternoon with school, and that one. And then 252s in between. The main route is the 254, which loops the entirety of Byford and then will be replaced by the circular routes in Byford later. But as you can see, frequency is terrible. All these routes actually do run on a Saturday as well, but really poorly, which is so weird. Like even 251, being such a scarce route, runs on a Saturday. 11:48 departure and 9:46 departure, and actually 3:40. There's actually more 251 services on a Saturday than on a weekday, outbound at least. But then on a Sunday, nothing runs except the 254, and the 254 is every 2 hours. 2 hourly service to Byford. That is all that they have on Sunday. That is the weirdest thing, because when the train opens, they're gonna have 15-minute frequency to Byford all the time, and right now it's 2 hours on a Sunday. The only option, 1 bus, and that's it. It's so crazy. So we're gonna take this 251 right now. I've actually never been in it, even though obviously there's no unique sections, because just like 252 and 253, but I wanna get off at its terminus. And actually when it turns around from the terminus, which is actually 40 minutes after terminus, and I don't get why, but it actually does go on 2 streets just to loop around, which won't obviously be served anymore since nothing will be terminating there. So let's head down then. And here comes our gas bus 2022 operating Byford Klondike Avenue. I've never seen this desk store because I've literally never been on 251, so. And here we are at the Klondike Avenue Byford terminus. most useless route, bro. Why does it go here? Now the driver literally just had a over 1 hour meal break at Armadale Station. I just checked his shift. Now he drove this. Now he waits here for another 40 minutes to do the return service. I don't get why it's 40 minutes. No one used this end section anyway that's beyond the town center. So what's the point? Now, on the return service, he will actually be turning here onto these streets, which aren't otherwise served to turn around. So that's why we'll be filming that. But that's in 40 minutes. I don't understand why. Now here on this side, it's the 252 and 253 stop. This looks really old. Oh, not really. 2017. I don't know. It's just pretty dated. But yeah, once the 251 is actually removed from here, because it's just going to become Armadale Station to Byford Station, then it's actually going to have lower frequency through this part of Byford, since it'll only be the Mundijong and Jarradale services through here, if they don't increase their frequencies, which they probably won't. So yeah, this is really dumb. I've never seen a stupider shift. He literally had a meal break. Now he has a 40-minute stop here, which is not even written as a break on his thing. Bro, this is your meal break. Like, what's the point? So, but there we have it. He's gonna sit there for so long, and then we'll film it leave out through the streets. So I guess I'm also gonna have a meal break. Which is really weird, because that means the 252 and 253 to Armadale actually go here, but the 251 goes there. Here we are at the back. So this terminus does have an embayment. Very weird one though. I've never gotten off here or seen a bus stop here. The sign for the 251 is at the back before the terminus. Like, what's the point? They're gonna have to get rid of that. But yeah, otherwise it's very nice here with this lake. So, well, time to wait. Very long time. Okay, I have to say, this is one of the most beautiful bus terminus stops there is anywhere in the network. I never realized how nice it is, but look at this lake. You got the highway right there, but it doesn't even feel like it. You just beautiful grass, walk around, the bus sitting there for 40 minutes. It's so nice. It's not even a problem waiting here. I love this place. Way better than Armadale. All right, finally here it goes, leaving the terminus. Down the street and switch to the next angle. Yep, so we got these bus signs, which will definitely have to no longer be needed, be removed, or maybe just stay as a remnant of the route in here, and then to the right there. And that sign at the top of the street there. Yet more incorrect signs. 251 turning left onto Abernethy Road from Southwestern Highway. No, who put this sign up? That is like either school deviations or just more mistakes, which the 251 doesn't even run during school hours. So what do you mean? It literally just goes straight. Like what? More incorrect signage. Okay, so there goes the 254 on this new section, kind of. So this was only introduced late last year. I did film a little video of the service change when it first happened. Oh, there it goes. Down the road. So this bit wasn't previously serviced. It's very weird because the middle of Byford is this rural area, while all along the edge is normal suburbia. So they changed the routes a bit to go into the proper suburbia here. Then it goes left there. Now, actually, I mean, I did say that, I said this when I filmed the route through here as well, but this is actually the first instance of the new font on the signs. See? The bus directional signs. I thought the Ellenbrook line was the first instance, but it's actually here, which was a little bit before the Ellenbrook line, but I actually never came to this new section until now. So yeah, I actually hadn't done every route properly since I didn't do this street. So yeah, the stops are terrible though. What is that? Seriously, who made this stop in the middle of the sand like this? What the hell? Best bus stop, bro. It's so bad. When was it? 8th of September 2024. Okay, yeah, it was actually already quite a while, but still. See, well before Ellenbrook line. Now these stops will still be served, but the bus will now turn left here instead of turning right, because it's no longer going to go down to the weird rural road. It's just going to go out into Thomas Road for a small section and then turn back in and serve the stops on the street behind there in the other direction instead. So you won't see the bus going here anymore, nor on that rural road, which I'm about to see the name of when I go there. This is Indigo Parkway here. So that's why we're filming it here now. Let's head down there. Yep, so here we are. This is Larson Road. I remember this very well from September when I came here to film it. Bus turns right now. Before it turned left and then right immediately again there onto Eurythmic Road, which there was a stop around the corner. There, that barking dog, which is still there. And yeah, oh gosh, it's right there. Scary. I recorded that stop at that time as well. And now this whole road here, which as you can see looks like such a rural road, there's literally horse warnings. This whole road is going to not be served anymore. There's no stops on it though until the very end, which is already back in the suburban area. So yep, and actually they do have that bus turns right sign there, but there's another bus turns left sign way back here, which they never got rid of. Just there. It's actually so far back, but yeah, so this is so confusing. Again, what the hell? Bus turns left and then bus turns right to the next pole, and then the driver's like, what? But anyway, it'll be useless, and both those signs will be useless with the bus no longer coming down here. So the Byford bound one should be here in a moment. I'm gonna film it here. There'll be CJ filming it further up as well, so we'll get it on 2 spots on the road. I wanted to film it on the corner, but I don't want to be near that dog. And I kind of already filmed buses there in the other videos, so I'm just gonna do it here so we get a bit of a different shot. And then there's also the Thomas Road section. So there's a new bit of Thomas Road being served to replace this section, but the bit of Thomas Road between Southwestern Highway and the other road that the bus will be going on. I'll show you this all on the map, by the way. That bit of Thomas Road, which is the new bit with the new bridge over the rail line, will no longer be served, since the routes in here will not even touch Southwestern Highway anymore, since it'll just be Byford Station circular routes. So that's how it goes there. There we go. What a backdrop that is, eh? With the hill. That's so nice. So it turns at that roundabout that you can see down there, and then comes all the way down this road. Honestly, I'm surprised there's no stop along here, considering the weird stops on Southwestern Highway. Sorry, Southwestern Highway, yes. And then here there's nothing, even though there's still houses. Oops. All the way down through these rural areas and turning right now instead of left like you saw in that minor change video, because I literally filmed every change and I did a video for that when they changed those like 2 stops. And go. So here's actually one of the stops being removed here, Larson Road, the only stop on Larson Road. Again, it's a disability accessibility upgraded one, surprisingly. Really weird. And this Aboriginal artwork shelter, front door exit only. Actually, apparently September 2023, so a whole year before the other stops down there. How is this front door only? There's so much space. What? With a proper curve? That's completely wrong. And then the other side is just a pole. This one with completely ripped off number. Yep. And then at the moment the bus goes left here, so it'll come from there along Thomas Road, come down here, but then it'll just go straight and to the new Byford Station from this side. So it's just a full circle, which makes so much sense because the current route is basically a circle at the end. So that's why. And there is actually a new footbridge over there across the tracks, which I would have shown you before when I was showing Byford Station. That's literally right there at the end of this road, the Larson Road footbridge. So it's perfect. It's so close actually. You think it's so far, but you can literally walk to the station from here. Don't even need the bus. There's the 254 around its terminus loop here. Oh my god, it's so slow. What is that speed? Here's the nice terminus stop. Also being removed, even though it literally got an accessibility upgrade and this new shelter and everything. Right, that was the whole 254 with its 3 different sections being removed, including along the Thomas Road Bridge, which is really sad because that's a cool new section across that new bridge. So there's the 254 terminus. There's those 2 sections within the streets which will no longer be served, which I pointed out. But also this whole end bit won't be served, of course, because why would it terminate there when the train station is right there? So that's going to be that. But the route number is actually staying the same. It's still going to be the 254, but it's just going to be a big circle from the train station on all those sections and back to the train station. But a few of the sections changed. And then the anti-clockwise or whatever, the other direction will be the 255. And then there's also going to be a new 256, which will actually go to the very southern part of that area in Byford, which is currently about 1.5 kilometers from this route. And there is actually someone on that bus right now going there. So that's going to be the Byford bus changes version of the extremely short, stupid new routes they make. It's very similar to the 577 in Lakelines. It literally leaves the station, goes there, U-turns, and goes all the way back in 7 minutes. And that's going to be such a dumb route, but at least it serves that area. So anyway, that term is being removed. Okay, that's it now actually for everything in Byford. I thought it would be a lot more considering this is the main focal point of the changes, but no, not really. Just those 2 spots along the 254 on Thomas Road and Larson Road, as well as its terminus and the 251 terminus streets. But that's it, we're done. Nothing much more changing. All the other stops will still be served around here. So, thanks for watching this whole video. We've managed to cover all the changes for the normal routes in the Armadale Byford areas here in this one video. Cannot wait for the opening. It's very soon, less than a month, so see you then. Bye.